Hello once again everybody. Well, today we will be learning how to make thin lines with water paints. This is a challenge with a lot of people face because what happens is when we're trying to make outlines for anything, it either becomes like broken or we always see that it is not properly even, like it goes like crooked. So we will learn how to do that. Also, we will see that how we can get lines with the help of even a fat brush. All right, and so yeah, let's begin. So I'm first going to take brush number 0. Now, always keep in mind, my palette is a little bit messy. Now, you have to always make sure that if there is color in your palette already, then in order to use the color, because this is watercolors, you don't have to throw them away or you don't wash your palette. What you do is you add water, at least 3-4 drops of water, 15 to 20 minutes before you start painting. So what I have done is I have put water drops in black, in raw umber, in viridian green, and in cobalt blue, because I'm planning to use these 3 colors, right? So I will first begin with brush number 0. And here the main thing that you have to understand is how we get the lines in the proper way that we want. Okay, so I will begin with this one first. Now first you dip your brush in water, then you dip your brush in color. Now you don't take color from here, you start taking color from the side. Okay, you take color from side and you'll see that there's a lot of water over here. You remove the excessive water from brush and remove it over here only so that once this dries, this can be used as color again. Again, take color in the tip of your brush and always turn your brush in this way. Okay. And now let's start coloring. So I have made some drawings over here. I will first begin with that one. So let's see how we can color the first leaf, which is over here. So I'm going to start from here. Now keep in mind that you don't have to hold your brush in this way. Try and hold it at least 70 to 90 degree angle. And I'm going to start from here. Just touch the tip of your brush. Now keep going till where you can keep turning your brush comfortably. Leave it over here. Now when you leave here, you just leave. Then take color again in your brush. Now every time you take color, make sure there is water also, because if the brush is dry, then that's going to be a problem. Now also to let you know, I also have taken a little extra water here so that I don't have to dip it in clean water or whatever color the water would become. Here the water will always remain black. And since I'm using black, so I will definitely need black water. So now I take this and I'm going to start from here. Now if you notice, I am keeping my hand like this, not in this position. Go slow. Now here, I'm going to stop. Now I do not begin from here. I begin from here. I again stop. I always begin little bit from behind. I'm going to again take little color. So every time I want to start a new line, I will always take little color. Okay. I'm going to make a line inside this. Now here I haven't drawn any line. So what I will do is I will take a little color again and I'm going to just touch the tip of the brush. The main challenge over here is to keep your hands steady. So you have to be very careful, very slow. Do not hurry. Do not go like this, because then you will get a broken kind of a line. And then just let me add some lines over here. The way we turn the brush, it will turn. Please notice over here carefully that I am just using the tip of my brush. Now you will also notice that as you go on coloring, as you go on drawing basically with the paint brush, your color starts reducing, because obviously here it was the blackest and then it becomes light. Now as it starts becoming light, I take little color again. Okay, so I'm going to take color from here. I'm going to dip it in water. I'm going to again take color. Every time you dip it in water, you make sure that you take color. Otherwise, your tip of the brush will become only full of water, which we do not want. We want color. Okay. Now, whichever has become light, you start from there. And when you're redoing on a particular line, try and go over it itself. Otherwise, your work will start looking a little messy. So we have to make sure that we keep going on the same line. Okay. Now let's try the same thing on the other side. Again, brush, color, water, color. Try to move when it's small lines, try to move at one go. Now my color is reducing. Also, my brush is also becoming dry because there was no more water also left. So your brush should not become dry. Otherwise, you will get like a split end kind of a look in your brush. And instead of single line, we'll start getting double line over here. There's something that should not happen. So always make sure that you avoid taking your finger where it is wet. Okay. Now let's try with brush number 3. And I'm going to try with Prussian blue this time. Sorry, cobalt blue. Now obviously the tip of brush number 3 is fat compared to brush number 0. So in this, how do we get a thin line? Same process is of holding your brush. Take the color, take water in your brush, and then I'm going to make on the other one. I have just made 3 petals kind of a look. And just see how I'm holding the brush. I'm not holding it like this. Now here what you have to see is that I'm turning my brush like this. Till now I was going in this direction. Now it is like this. So the tip from this has become this. So in that what happens, I get the side of the brush. And I'm using all round brushes. Right? Now let's see the other petal. Again, take color, water, color. And this I'm going to start from here because, see, there's no hard and fast rule that you should start drawing the outline from here or from there. It's from where you are comfortable. Right, now let's draw some patterns inside it with lines. And we'll continue with the same color, cobalt blue. Let's try and get thin lines. There. Let's see if we can get the same kind of an effect with brush number 0. Same color, water, brush, color, water, color. Oh yeah, we can. There you go. You have to just be careful that you are steady in it. And see, here I want you to see how now here it has ended, so I'll go from here and I'll go over it. From here I come, go over it. Right? Now let's try with another brush, which is 000, and also the bristle of this brush is longer. So maybe I'll take Viridian green this time. And when I'm taking Viridian green, you got to again make sure you do the same thing. I have water here, so I'm taking water, I'm taking color. Now if there is color like this, like too much color in your brush, you have to remove that in your palette itself. Dip it in water. Take color. Remove extra color and extra water. And if you want to make it dark, go over it again. And as I had mentioned before also, while you are going over it, make sure you maintain the line over there. And here, as you can see, it has become a little bit front and back. So not an issue at all. Instead of trying to remove it or something, what we will do is we'll not start from here. We'll start from here. We go a little bit on it and then like this. Now, why don't we add little other color in it? So I'm going to take a bit of Crimson Lake. And same thing, watercolor, watercolor. Same way you take color. And see here it is curving. So I leave it here. I start from here. And I go and make them as one line. You see, the moment you feel that your hands cannot curve, like turn, because we cannot paint like this. So we leave over there. And then while starting, we start a little bit from now remember the same thing will have to be done even on this side. Okay? But let's move on to another one. Because this side I would like to show another kind of a technique also. Now over here when it's going like a curve, which is same like this and this, do the same thing. Please notice one thing, viewers, that is how I am holding the brush, where I'm holding the brush, and how I'm changing the angle of it, like at which point it is like this, when is it becoming in this direction, because that is what gives you the kind of line that you want. Okay, now let me show you another technique over here in which we make the outline later on and not before. So I'll go back to brush number 0 and let me take raw umber. It's a very dark color. It's basically like black mixed to your burnt umber, like a tree bark color. Or even when we see a lot of clay, wet mud with a good amount of dust mixed, this is the color that you get. So I take raw umber and let me now first make the pattern inside. So I'm just making a random pattern. I'm just trying to make sure that all my lines are having the same distance. Well, if you're worried that directly painting, you may not get the same place, then I would suggest draw it. Now I am again taking color because there was no color. As you can see, the color over here and color over here changes because color from our brush was finishing. Please notice the speed. I am not rushing with the lines. Again, when the color is finishing, I again dip it in watercolor, water, and color. And first I will make this one because this has become way too light. Now I'm going to make the outline for this. Now you must be wondering, why did I not make the outline first? See, generally when you're making patterns, many of the times what happens, or if you're making any kind of lines inside, many of the times what we have seen is what happens is the lines go out sometimes, or there's a gap sometimes, right? Like how, as you can see over here in this part. So to avoid that kind of a situation or that kind of a look, we first make the designs and then we make the outline. So in outline, what happens? All my unevenness gets covered. Okay, I'm just going to take black a little bit. This work will require a lot of practice because over here the main thing is that how we are balancing water and color. If there is too much of water in the tip of your brush, your color after drying will become so light that it will not look good. Your drawing, your painting will start looking very dry and dull. And when you want brightness, you need to have the correct amount of color and correct amount of water also. Okay, now let me show you something where often I've seen people get stuck. That is why when we have to make straight lines. Generally, when a lot of people are making straight lines, our hand starts shivering, and this is what it happens. Or it becomes like this. Even with the brush number 0, I get this kind of a look. So to avoid this, what should be done? You have to take the color, water, and then again color on the tip of your brush. Keep your hand like this. Keep it steady. All right? And brush as much straight as possible. If you all noticed, I did not move like this. I only moved this. So your wrist has to be really flexible. That is very important. Even if you're making a curve like this. Right? Now let's try vertical lines. I start from here. Okay, I'm going to make the outline here. As you can see, there's a little up and down and unevenness. That will get covered here. So friends, I have done a lot of work like this. Let me just show you a couple of them. So like this is one. This is another one. This is another one. And in this you will be able to see one over here. And in this, you'll be able to see 2 of them, one here and one here. As in this, you can see that a lot of thin lines have been done, right? So these thin lines, you have to hold the brush in that particular way. Okay, even for that, even in this, the lines are really thin. Sometimes you have to be very careful that how you are holding the brush, right? So do practice. And if you need more ideas on this, please subscribe to our channel and please understand and learn from us that how we get the correct look in our artwork. Thank you so much for your time and enjoy coloring and love painting and coloring. So these are few, showing it one more time for you to get an idea. Whichever work you do, whatever you try, please do share with us. Our links and everything is there in the description. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to our channel.